Having an amazing collection of shoes to sell doesn't mean much if potential customers can't find you. A professional website is essential for growing your shoe business, showcasing your products, and turning visitors into paying customers. Without one, you risk losing sales while competitors dominate search results and grab the customers that you're after. So today, I'm gonna walk you through how to create a shoe selling website that attracts buyers, builds your brand, and boosts your business. Plus, I'll reveal the #1 mistake that most shoe sellers make and how to fix it in just a few minutes. The first step is choosing the right website platform. Now, there are plenty of options, but for shoe sellers, my top pick is Wix. It's incredibly user-friendly, mobile optimized, and offers everything you need, like product galleries, secure payment processing, and customer reviews to build trust. With over a decade of experience building websites, I can confidently say that Wix is one of the best choices for launching your online store. The best part, it's completely free to try. So you can go ahead and start designing your website today without any upfront cost. To begin, what you gotta do is click on the link right up here, or check out the link in the description of this video. Now, by using that link, you're not just starting your website, you're also supporting me in this channel, and I obviously truly appreciate that. So let's go ahead and click on that now, and I'll walk you through this whole process. All right, so now that you've clicked that, all you gotta do is just go into the Wix website here and just put your email in here and click on Start Now. And it's gonna lead you to this page in particular. So you just have to put your email in twice and then the password that you wanna do. And once you have that all set up, go ahead and click on Sign Up. You can also do Continue with Google or Facebook, but if you want an email tied to it like I always do, you could just do it this way. Okay, so who are you creating your website for? I would just say for myself, my business, or a friend. So you wanna do there. Go ahead and click Continue. And here it's gonna bring up this page. So this basically says, hey, do you wanna chat with AI to get your website started? Now you may be thinking, oh, I don't wanna do that. I'm just gonna go, don't do that. I actually recommend that you do start the chat with AI because it's really helpful. And what it'll do based on your responses and what you put in there is it'll actually do a lot of the heavy lifting for you and kind of build your site before you even get into it. So highly, highly recommend that you do this. So we're gonna click on Start Chat and I'll kind of show you, the whole process here. So first, tell me what your site is all about. Now, when we talk about selling shoes online, I'm assuming that, you watching, you're probably a shoe reseller or sneaker reseller. I know that there's, quite a market for that. But there also are some people that probably want to start shoe stores. Regardless of exactly what it is, I'm just going to say that I resell sneakers. I have a lot of them, and I would like to have a website where I can showcase those. So, if that's not you, then obviously change it. But that's what my gut instinct tells me. So I'm going to put that in here. So I have a lot of sneakers and want to start a business reselling them. That's what I kept it as. And what would you name your sneaker reselling business? So I'm going to say Ron's, my name is Ron, by the way, sneaker resale, right? Terrible name. Don't do that, but you get the idea. We're going to go ahead and click that. And what kind of sneakers will you be focusing on? Here's where it's kind of tough. There's a lot of different sneaker resellers out there. I'm just going to say mostly basketball sneakers because I know that there's, not basketball, mostly basketball sneakers because I know that there's a market for that. But obviously put in whatever it is for you. Or if you're a shoe store and this is completely off, just put that information in here too. What are your main goals for your sneaker resale business? Well, I want an online store that I sell the sneakers from that will bring customers. Okay, we'll say that. What is your business's history in sneaker reselling? So here's when we, talk about the history. I've been doing this for 10 years and love the entire process. I have a very large inventory and many contacts to lean on to get exclusive releases or drops or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so here you might be wondering, why are they asking all these weird questions? They'll actually build this into the messaging. So when they build the site up for you, they'll build this into the messaging. So it does help. Just answer everything honestly. We'll go ahead and click next. Okay, so from there, it says that you're all set. So we can actually go from there. Here we can go ahead and click on the dashboard. When we click on the dashboard, at this point, you see this pop up. So it's actually going to kind of build the site for me. Like I said, these questions that they ask, you do want to answer them honestly so that it gives you or you give them as much information as possible to kind of make the site for you. Okay, so when you log in, this is going to be what happens here. So you come in, And you may be thinking, well, what am I doing here? What is this? So what this is this is the CMS, the content management system. So this is kind of the information behind the website. This is not what people see. This is the stuff that you as the administrator will see, right? And you can organize everything. Now we'll talk through all these in a minute, but the first thing I want to do is just talk about how to actually design your site, because that's the important part. That's what you're really here for. So, there's a lot of different things that you can do here, but let's talk about that in a minute. What you want to do is on the bottom left here, just click on Design Site, or the top right, click on Design Site. So we'll go to the bottom left, we'll click on Design Site. Now here you can generate a design with AI or customize a template. It's up to you, whichever one you want to do. What I will say from my own experience, customizing a template is much easier and quicker. Because these templates are kind of already built for these types of businesses, and you can customize all the images, you can customize all the content, you can customize the buttons, the color scheme, everything, right? Just because you build from a theme, think of the theme as kind of the skeleton behind the site. It's something that you can change everything about, but it already has all the functionality there in front of you. If you generate a design with AI, it can get a little bit, I've done it. I wasn't too impressed. And there were some things missing and it required more work from me. So I personally recommend that you customize a template. So we're going to click on pick a template, and here you go. So they have all these different options here, right? Where you can see everything. And just all these, well, the first one is a camera store, which is weird, but then they have a shoe store here, shoe store, accessories, shoe store, clothing store, accessory store. Now, again, the thing to understand here is every one of these particular things that you're seeing, all that you really need to do is get the skeleton of the site. Again, all the images, everything can be edited. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull up some of the best ones here. And then from there, we're going to make a decision. So I'll just pull up 3 of them. Okay, so here we'll just pick the 3. So I think I'll probably I'm going to hold down Control. I'm going to click View. There's 2. We'll do 3 different shoe stores. Here's the 3rd one. We'll click on View. Okay. Now each one of these, it's going to say use this template as a starting point. Don't do that yet. Just click the arrow, or I'm sorry, the X on the top right on every one of these, right? Because you don't actually want to start anything yet. And then what we also want to do is click on view in full screen. So you can get the full experience on desktop of what the site is all about. Okay, so we can see this is the 3rd one, the shoe store website, Shoe Fetish apparently. I mean, I feel like this is definitely more female oriented. I honestly don't love it. It's very simple. It's just not, I mean, the footer is pretty weak. There's not a lot here. I guess you can click on collection. This one is underwhelming. I do not love this one. This isn't terrible. At least they got, with a collection. So if you're doing, a specific fashion thing, you can put that all in here. I'm not a huge fan of this one. Okay. So we're going to see where this ends up, but I'm not a huge fan. This is the next one, a little bit brighter, a little bit more to it, which is good. Men and women's, which that's cool too. Final sale, if you want to have sales on it, and then all the different sneakers right there. Somebody can just click on one of them, view the details. Okay, that's not bad. And then we can go to shop, and when we look, okay, this isn't too bad, right? It shows pretty nice versions of the sneakers. I like actually the image when you scroll over the different images that show up in the background. That's pretty cool. So not bad. This one's definitely not bad. The first one is out. It's not even a comparison. So it's either this one or the 3rd one. So let's close this out. Okay, so it's either this one right here or this other one here. So let's look at this one. Okay, so this one's focused on premium athletic footwear, but again, you can change the image in the background. I do like how they have this right here. I think that's pretty cool. And they also have a search up top, which is nice. And also they got this free shipping on all international orders. If you click on menu, you can actually choose what it is. Let's look at the homepage a little bit first. Oh, so it gets right into the actual shoes, which is pretty cool. And then this is more kid styles, which again, you could change this instead of kid styles. You could change this to be just a different sneaker that you have that you're really focused on. If you have, a decent amount in your reselling collection. Okay. And then customer reviews. So that's actually pretty solid overall. The menu, we're going to go ahead and click on shop just because, okay, all products, bestsellers, limited edition, performance, we'll click on all products just to see what the shop page looks like. And here, and it's got a nice little thing on the side where you can actually filter and sort. Okay, so between the two, you could choose whichever one you want. I personally like this one better. So I think I'm going to go with this one. Okay, this one wasn't bad. We'll close this one out, but that one wasn't bad. So we'll go with that one. So we're going to go ahead and click on edit this site. And when you click on edit this site, again, it was from the shoe store website template, right? The one that I just talked about. Click on edit the site. It's actually building my site here. Okay, that's what's actually happening here. So we're going to give it a second. Okay, so now we can see that the pages, or the site rather, has been created. At any time, we can go up here into the top right, and we can just click on preview. And you can actually see your entire site, how it would appear to somebody visiting from the first time, right? So this is actually how it's going to look. It's pretty cool, right? And then what we would do is we go back to editor here, and this will allow you to, adjust it as needed. Now, the first thing with any site that you want to do is you want to focus on the navigation. Okay. So that's really the first thing. So we're going to first go into, well, actually, I'm sorry, before we go into that, let's talk about the back end. I want to kind of explain to make sure that you fully understand exactly how this all works. So the CMS, again, is an important part of this whole process. So let me briefly go over that. Okay, so remember this screen. This is the CMS that we talked about earlier. So in here, again, this is the administration portal, right? So you can see everything you need to see. This is home getting paid. So if you actually want to get payments through the website, you can do that on Wix, which is pretty cool. Sales, this will actually help you understand what you're selling. Catalog, so this is, and we'll go into this later, but this is where you can actually put all the information about your products that you have available. Apps, so this is cool because if there's ever anything you need, like if you wanted live chat, for instance, you could add the live chat app in, and then you would have live chat on your website too. So, if there's ever functionality that you need. There's also the site mobile app that gets into nitty gritties, but basically the information around that. Inbox, if you have any emails that are coming in. Customers and leads, so it actually lets you kind of follow who it is that's buying from you. And like it says here, you can get a loyalty program, which is pretty cool. People that have been with you, you can send them coupons, etc. with all this. Marketing goes into all the different types of marketing. Analytics will help you understand who it is that visits your site, where they're going, etc. And then automations, this is more advanced functionality, so I'm not going to focus too much on it. That is the CMS. So it's important to understand that most of the stuff that you do, and we'll go through this as we walk through the site, a lot of things that you do will be stored in the CMS, you'll edit them in the CMS, and then they will push to the live site when you're actually ready to go with them, right? So, okay, so back to here. So the first thing we want to do is get the navigation, right? And we just need to basically go to here. We want to click on edit menu. And this is really the biggest thing, is making sure that we understand to make sure that our menu is properly done. Okay, so when you look at the menu here, we have home, we have about, we have shop, and also this shop can be expanded. Well, I guess I should show you with the preview. So home, about, shop, online orders, and menus, new. That might be confusing to you. So online orders, we don't actually need. This is just Wix built in a page for a restaurant for some odd reason. So we would remove this, obviously. But this menu is new, this one right here. This is where you could actually do exclusive releases, things like that, and have those within your menu as well. Now, you could also have like a testimonials page too. That'll be something that we'll look into. Truth is, you should have testimonials and reviews all over your website anyway to build trust and all that kind of stuff anyway. But we will, actually build that out so that you can kind of see how it gets built. So let's go back to the editor here. Okay, first thing we'll do, so we'll click on edit menu, and then we want to edit this. So let's manage the menu. Online orders was the weird restaurant thing. Definitely don't need that. So we will just hide that from the menu. And then we have right here the menu new. We're going to rename that to collection. And you don't have to have this. You could just remove it from the menu if you want. And then this other one, this was actually kind of a repeat of the other page. So I don't really see a reason for that either. So we're going to do that, and then we'll go to the menu here, manage the menu, and this other menu. I don't think this is necessary either because it's basically a repeat. So we'll just delete that one. Okay, so there we go. So now we should have the fix. There we go. So home, about, shop, and exclusive collection. Okay, so now that that's all deleted out of there, and this menu is good. I did mention that, testimonials, reviews. If you want to build that page, I'm just going to show you how to do it. Pretty easy to do, really not that hard. So when we go up to here on the top left on page, right, we go to here and we're looking and we don't see anything related to actual, the actual page that we want, which is like a testimonial review page. Click on the bottom there, and all we got to do is click on add page, and we will just go into, you can just do a general page. It doesn't really matter technically, and I'll show you why in a second. We will just go with this general page right here, pretty simple. Okay, Wix is going to build out that page for you. And this page has everything that that was right in the version that I showed you right there, right? So it has all this set up. All that we need to do to get a testimonial page is just go into add section, testimonials, and then we can just go into here and, we'll throw this guy up here and we will go into here and add a section. We'll add another testimonial section. We'll do one right down here, right? So now that page, obviously we can go into here, we can adjust it as needed. And this is a good time to show you anyway. So let's say that we would just want to go to the text, we double click, super easy to edit that. We could adjust this text, or we could just say, hey, you know what, we don't want it, delete it, right? Click here, drag it up, right? And then, I don't think it really makes sense to have our client say, so we'll delete that. And then we could just have this be, you can adjust the content, you could change the image, etc. If you don't have an image, or something cool, if you change the image right here. So what you could do is you can actually go to their AI image creator. They've also built in Unsplash. So you could technically use these images too, or media from Wix, right? So we could just say, man smiling at camera. Let's see what that comes up with, right? We could throw this guy on there, a testimonial. If you have a real testimonial, you just have to throw a picture on it. The other thing that you can do, which is pretty neat, this has, Wix has built an AI image creator, which I actually love. Not a great example for a testimonial, but I'll just show you the functionality. So if we click here, we click on photo, show me a picture of a man with a red shirt smiling at the camera. A red shirt. There we go. We'll click create the image. And what Wix does is it'll actually create the image, put it up here. This is perfect because when you are trying to get images, although I showed you that they have some there in the backend, if you can't find something good, this is going to be a royalty-free image, which is really nice. So you can basically use this. You'll never have to pay for it. It's a beautiful way of creating images for your site. So let's just say this is good because we really only care about up there anyway. So we'll click use image. And here we'll just cut this down, kind of keep his face centered right there. Okay, so we'll click save and we'll use that image. And now this is the guy who is giving his testimonial, right? Pretty cool to be able to do it. Now, again, that image isn't necessarily perfect. The AI is a little bit weird, but it's a pretty good image if you don't have any images. So that's what we would do. We would just go into here and edit all the testimonials. I should also mention, these sections that we have, and you're like, we don't really need these sections. It's fine. Just right click, delete them. The beauty about Wix is the fact that it's all visual. Right? You can see I'm not a developer. I don't need a developer. I'm just going into here and I'm just deleting. That's it. And also, you could see there's a big blank space there. We'd have to delete that section. But the other thing that's pretty cool to see is this. So let's say that you're like, well, I don't really like that testimonials is here. I actually want it for whatever reason. You decide you want it on the right side. Just click, drag it over to the right side, or click and drag it over to the left side. It doesn't matter. You can move the text. You can move the images anywhere that you want. Let's say that we scroll down to here and we're like, I don't really like where that guy is. I'd like to put him up here and I'd like to put this box in front of him. There you go. It's all set. So whatever you want to do from a design standpoint, it's literally click and drag and drop. That's it. Super easy to do. So yeah, that's really the biggest thing in terms of editing the text and the size of it. If you ever need to, you go into here, you can change the font, bigger, smaller, the different font sizes, etc., colors, everything you'd want. Again, Wix just makes it easy. But that said, that's how we'd have the testimonial page, right? So now we do have the testimonial page on here. Okay. We're going to go back to the home page, and what we want to do is go into menu. And just because we need to add the testimonial page into the menu, because I said that we would. Okay. So we'll go to the home page. I said that. Okay. So we're at the home page. What we want to do is go down to here, manage pages. And here you can see we have all this set up, right? Now I put general. General is actually the testimonial page. I just didn't rename it. So we're going to rename that. So now you have to know how to create a page, and we have everything in the menu that we would possibly want. Again, your testimonials, you may not have to have a full page because they should be all over your site anyway. But if that's not the case, you can obviously have the page as well. Your home page is the first thing that visitors see, so it needs to make a strong impression. Keep it clean, visually appealing, and easy to navigate. Feature high-quality images of your best-selling shoes, highlight any special promotions, and make sure that there's a clear call to action that leads customers to shop your collection. Okay, so stepping into the homepage here and focusing on that. So now we have the navigation all set. If you're worried about a logo, Wix gives you some tools that you can work on with that as well. But for the case of this, let's just focus on the homepage. We already have the navigation set up. If you do want to change, up here where it says, free shipping on all international orders over $50, you just click to change text. You can adjust that as needed to whatever you want, or you could just delete the whole thing. Really depends on what you want. The thing to understand too with websites and this homepage, the top part, which is the header, and then there's the bottom part right here, which is the footer, and everything in between can change. So basically the header and the footer will be on every page of your site, and then the in-between stuff is what you can change. That's how most sites are set up. That's how you really want it set up. So in this homepage, let's kind of talk through it. Honestly, I really do like the way that this is designed. I really wouldn't change much. I mean, maybe you want to change the image in the background, and obviously this image here, things like that. And I will say too, if you do want to change this right here, this is a good example. When we click on Manage Products, it actually brings us back into the CMS, and this is where you can manage all of your inventory, okay? Now we'll get back to this in a second, but I want to show you the CMS comes into play. This is where you can manage all your inventory. And again, we'll get back into that in a second, but that is where that's actually housed. I love the fact that this is right here. I just think it's a cool design. We have these best sellers. I think this is really good too. You could change whatever you want. But this, when you click into it, this is the grid gallery right here. And all we got to do is do a quick edit. So this next part here is the best sellers. This is the grid gallery, right? You can see that grid gallery. Manage products. As you can see, it is just a different way of showcasing the inventory that you already have on, in the back end in the CMS. So it shows you everything right here directly, right? So I think this is really good. Obviously, you change the images and everything. I think this is good. Kid styles. I mean, this one, maybe you don't want to do 20% off kid styles. So here we'll get rid of the kid thing and we'll just do exclusive releases. Okay, exclusive releases. And then we would just adjust the image, etc. And they can click on shop now if they're interested. Also, we have this little widget over here too, which shows other sneakers that they can purchase. Shop by collection if you have different collections or things like that. And then this committed to sustainability. I don't know if this is really relevant to everyone. If it's not relevant to you, you could just, say, well, this isn't really all that relevant to me. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it and click on delete, and it is all gone, right? And then we have this whole section. We'll just go to here and delete the entire section. We don't need that section. Okay, it's all done. Customer reviews. These are important, right? In fact, you may want to say, hey, you know what? These are so important that I want to move them. I want to move them up on the page, or I want to, change this entire section and move it up. We just click right over here, right? And say, yeah, you know what? I think customer reviews, because if you're new, right, you may say, well, let's put customer reviews up here, and you can adjust these, you can change the looks of these, etc. I would definitely say, this isn't very good, so we'll probably make it a little bit bigger, right? We'll kind of do a bold color there. So there we go. So customer reviews, right? So they see this, and that goes right to customer reviews here. We could say, hey, I don't really like the placement of this. I think it's kind of weird how it's right aligned. So we're just going to go right here, right in the middle, and we'll just center it here and there. There we go. Okay, well, that's not actually centered, but you get the point. We would center it on here and then have that there. So we have that all set up. I think the homepage is pretty good otherwise. Like I said, especially if you're new, maybe customer reviews kind of near the top there, not right at the top, but near there. And we're all set there. Now here in the what they call the footer, right? This might be a little bit confusing or a little bit intimidating because it's like, oh, I had a form, and you were thinking, oh my gosh, why would I add a form? Well, you want to make sure you have it because if somebody has to contact you for some reason, right? So we're going to click into here. We're going to click into add the form, and we'll click right there to add the form. We'll click edit form, and here we need to actually throw a form in. So this is pretty easy. I'm just going to say let's do first name, last name, their email, and then a long message. I would also make every one of these a required field, right? You want to go into here and make them all required. Not going to spend our time doing that, but you want to make sure to do that so that you don't get a bunch of spam stuff coming in. So we would do that. We would then, and you can edit the design and all that stuff if you want to. You can change all the looks, the color of the button here. We can change all this stuff. But then you eventually go into here, you can press save. We'll close it. Then we click into here, and what we want to do is click settings, and we will go over to here and say, well, this is the form that I just created. I want it in here. Now you may be saying, well, why is it yellow? Well, the background that we had was basically transparent. So again, you can go in, adjust the design, etc., however you want. But this allows you to actually have a form on every page of the site. Okay, so that's it. That would be the homepage. Again, I think that we have a good homepage overall. I love that they have e-commerce built into here. So that's a good thing. And then they have the menu, and the search is actually big because anybody that's searching for any sneakers, you'll be able to see what that is, and they can search it that way. But yeah, at any time we can just click preview and check it out. Because I've made a lot of changes here and I think, well, this is pretty good. I'm going to click on save, and we will just get our free Wix domain right now. That's fine. We'll click on save and continue, and your home page is good to go. Next is a shop page. So this is the heart of your website. Your shop page should display your entire shoe collection in an organized, easy to browse format. Make sure to include high quality product images, detailed descriptions, sizing information, and pricing. Offering multiple views of each shoe and customer reviews can also help boost conversions. So the next page here is the shop page. And in this one, you can see kind of how it's set up. I wouldn't change much about this at all. I love that they have filters. All this stuff is good. I'm going to go back into the editor. This is actually the page that it brings you to, which is the category page. So I'll explain what I mean here in a second. So if we go up to here into the pages, you can see the category page and the product page. The category page is the actual shop page that you just saw. And then the product page is when you get it more in depth into a specific product, right? So we'll see here, limited edition sneakers. We have all the reviews. It actually shows images of it. We can explain everything about it, collect reviews on it, etc. We can do all that right here. So what we're going to focus on, the product page, again, I think that these are designed really, really well. I don't think that you need to change it a bunch on them, but we're going to go to the category page. And right here is where you can basically adjust everything with the category. Again, you're going to have to change the images of all this, but when you do, it's pretty easy. So like I said, you just click on manage products, right? And this is going to bring it into the CMS. So now we're going to dive a little bit into the CMS, which is where you manage the inventory. So you can see here, we have all these different things. Let's click on out of here. You can see here, we have all these different things. We click into it and it'll actually show you kind of the way that it's built out. So my advice generally, getting into this really in depth, just look at how they've done it and then just adjust and edit things into your own way, right? Show an online store, show an point of sale. Here's where all the images go up here, the name of it, the description. If you want to create any coupons or anything like that, you can do it there. Additional info section, which can definitely be helpful if if you are reselling and there's certain damage or anything like that, you can note that there. You could say, hey, you know what, it's on $250 and it's on sale. Or we could just say, an old trick, it's $275 and it is on sale, 10% off. So we'll just do that. And then, we can also put in our cost per goods, which is kind of cool too, because if you're trying to balance it, let's say that you're buying sneakers and you're flipping them, and let's say that we spent $100, right? This actually says what your profit is per unit, your margin, etc., which is pretty neat. Custom text, if it's relevant, what sizes you have available as well, in stock or out of stock, if you have a SKU, shipping weight, etc., we could do all that. And then on the right side here, it tells you all the different product insights related to it, if you sold anything, and pretty much, categories too, which is good to know. But that's pretty much it, right? So then we can save it and we'll say the limited edition sneakers was saved. So we'll close that out, right? And we're going to refresh this page here. Okay, and we will scroll down and you can see right here, those limited edition sneakers now look like they're going for a really good deal, right? It was $275, now it's $247. Obviously, you can adjust the pricing, but just simple pricing strategy. If you give people a discount or make it look like you're giving a discount, they usually love that. So overall, like I said, we go into the back end and there's a lot of adjustments. If you want to go into the filtering over here too, we can just click on manage products. So overall, all the design is good. The filters, if you want to adjust these filters, you can just go ahead and click on settings, right? And then we go over here on filters and we can adjust all the filters and create custom filters and let them adjust the filters in the way they work. And the filters actually do, I will say, if you're not really all that, aware of how difficult it is actually difficult to make a filter system that works. So the fact that Wix has this built in is actually pretty cool, right? And you can see as I drag it, it will reduce them down, etc. So it does work really, really well. And it's just a good looking page. So I really wouldn't change much to it. The About Us page is where you build a connection with your customers. So share your story behind your shoe business, especially if you're a reseller, right? Explain why you started it, what makes your collection unique, and what sets you apart from the competition. If you specialize in certain styles like luxury, athletic, handmade, highlight that here to attract your ideal customers as well. Next is the About page, right? So all we got to do here is click up here, go to About, and we can actually go into the About page. So now we're at the About page, and you can see here, this is what the page looks like. Now, I could just click around and do all these different things. I don't really feel like I need to do that because it's redundant. This particular page was really built for somebody who owns a shoe brand or maybe has a shoe store, right? And they can kind of talk about all the different products, etc., and what makes them different. If you're reselling sneakers and kind of flipping them, you can adjust this and just make it about you as an individual. but it's pretty easy to do. So, let's say that you are, reselling. We go into here and we would just click add elements and we do text, and we'll just click and drag some text over to here, add a section, right? And we'll say, yeah, we want to do a design section, and we will say, let's do an about, and you can kind of throw in your own little version of it. So instead of this, you can delete that up there and you can just have this here, right? And change the color scheme, etc. Whatever it works for you, right? The only thing to know, so just make sure that you focus on your story, the brand, why the brand's good, why they should love it, etc. And then also jump into the FAQ. I think it's a good idea to do an FAQ in general, just to help with shipping and things like that if people have questions. So we're just going to go ahead and click on manage FAQs. And it's really simple. This is all managed in the CMS as well, which we've already talked about. And what this is it'll let you just really quickly, you can go in here and add FAQs, questions, answers, whatever they may have, and just kind of add new, adjust them as needed here just by clicking edit, and you can adjust everything as needed. But generally speaking, right, the about page, just build up that trust, build up that authority. Good idea to throw in testimonials here as well, and you can do that for sure. So yeah, if you have questions about it, you can just comment. But overall, the about page is important to tell a story about you as a brand and a person. Next is customer reviews and tutorials. Now, nothing sells shoes better than happy customers. So include a section where buyers can leave reviews and testimonials. Positive feedback helps build trust and reassures new customers that they're making the right choice by shopping with you. Next is the customer review testimonial page. I already went through this pretty much in depth, showed you a lot of functionality on here. We clean things up, delete some things. I'm not going to spend much time here. You've already seen it, but definitely important. I would say, like I said, this page isn't really necessary. What you can do instead is just feature a lot of testimonials and reviews throughout your site. But just make sure anytime that anybody's close to actually buying something, you have testimonials and reviews there to give them trust and to help them build trust with you so that they know that you're legit. And next is the contact page. So here you want to make it easy for customers to reach you. Your contact page should include a simple form where visitors can ask questions about sizing, orders, or returns. Also, display your email, your phone number, and any social media links so that customers can engage with you in different ways. And the last page to this is also the contact page. Now, similar to testimonials, if you will, right? Contact, it's kind of on the bottom. And I don't really see a point. You don't want to focus too much on a contact page within your website itself because we already have it on the bottom or in the footer of every single one of these. So, creating a whole new contact page, you could, but I would just say just having that on the bottom. And also you got to remember that this is an e-commerce site. So as they go through this whole process, as they buy things, you're going to get a lot of emails back and forth anyway with customer service. That's just the reality of e-commerce. So I don't know if this is really fully necessary, but if you do want to do it, I explained how to create a page previously as well. So you can just do that same method and then just create a contact page for your site. Now, I do think one thing that is important is to just kind of show you the checkout process so somebody fully understands, right? So let's say that they're like, yeah, this is the shoe that I want. They click on add to cart. It's also on sale. Talked about that earlier. So they would then select the size. This is the sizes that you have in the back end, like I just showed you. They say, yeah, I'm size 10. Just one of them, that's fine, right? They would click add to cart, right? And we have this all set up, and then they can check out or they can view their cart. So we're gonna say checkout, okay? And then you can connect payment methods to the site, right? Now, here's the whole thing. When you do this, you could just say no thanks, or you could say, well, let's connect the payment methods. So now we're on the accept payments page, right? And you can basically accept with credit, debit cards, PayPal, or manual payments. Now, Wix does get you here a little bit. Like you could write an email or just put an email address in there and say, hey, if you want to check out, here's my email to discuss things. But generally speaking, if you want people to actually be able to pay directly on your site, it does require you to get one of their premium plans. But it is a premium plan. It's not premium pricing. It's actually very, very affordable. But don't stress about it now. It's just one of those things you're going to have to pay somewhere, right? And they do have a good setup, and they have a whole back end that makes it really, really easy to do this stuff. So yeah, I would recommend that you go through the whole process, look into this, upgrade if you feel comfortable in doing so. The other thing that this will do, which is actually very important. So when you go to your Wix site, because this will be pretty much the last part anyway, when you go to your Wix site, one thing that's going to happen is you're going to have your whole site, you're going to get it all done, right? And we're going to have it all set to go. And then you want to publish your site, right? So let's say that we have already integrated all the payment stuff, okay? Okay, so assuming that it's all ready, right, we would go ahead and click on publish. Now, when you click this does actually make your site live on the internet, okay? So I click publish right here. I have a live site on the internet. So my URL is rstefanski115wixsite.com, blah, 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 blah. It is live. We have a website, right? But if you don't want this ugly URL right here, which you probably don't, you're gonna have to upgrade for that anyway, right? And you would go over to here and just click connect your domain, and you'd have to upgrade that anyway. So, upgrading, it is a cost, but again, any platform is gonna charge you, and this one's very reasonably priced. Congrats, you have officially made it. If you followed everything in this tutorial, you now have your very own shoe selling website. And while there will always be tweaks and improvements over time, you've built a very solid foundation that you can proudly share with the world. This website gives you the exposure that you need to succeed online. Oh, and remember the big mistake that most shoe sellers make when building a website? Well, spoiler alert, it's actually not about the website at all. So the number one mistake that most shoe sellers make is to not use email marketing effectively. So many assume that once someone visits their site, they'll, make a purchase immediately, but that's rarely the case. Most customers, they'll take time to browse, they'll compare, and then they'll decide before buying. Now, email marketing helps you stay top of mind. You can collect emails through a sign-up form and send automated follow-ups to people. You can offer exclusive discounts, showcase your new arrivals, and also share styling tips to keep your customers engaged. A well-timed email can turn a hesitant visitor into a loyal buyer. So to make this easier, I recommend using Brevo, which integrates with Wix and simplifies automated follow-ups as well. So you can go ahead and click on the link up here for that, or check in the description for a link to that as well. Your shoe selling website is more than just an online store. It's a powerful tool for building your brand, generating sales, and growing your business. Now, if you found this helpful, hit the like button, or if you have questions, please drop them in the comments. I'd love to help you create a site that attracts more customers and takes your business to the next level. Thanks for watching.